Welcome back everyone. In today's video we're going to be talking about the stock of arguably the most well-known food chain in the world, McDonald's. The one thing that sticks in my mind when I think about McDonald's is that creepy clown they used to have in stores, Ronald McDonald. To be honest, I'm not surprised that McDonald's decided to fade out Ronald McDonald in their stores. That clown could scare any kid away from buying their cheeseburger. The company was founded as a barbecue restaurant in California, United States in 1940 by brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald. 8 years later it was transformed to selling hamburgers as we know it today. Since then McDonald's has grown like wildfire with over 36,000 restaurants as reported in 2017. Now the interesting thing about McDonald's is that only 15% of their restaurants are owned and operated by the McDonald's Corporation directly. In these restaurants, they generate their revenue through the so to speak normal way, by making produce and selling it for a markup. But the other 85% of their stores are franchisees, in which franchise owners pay high amounts of dollars to run a McDonald's franchise. But how much revenue are McDonald's actually bringing in? As I've mentioned before, I'm a big fan of companies that generate healthy amounts of revenue, as it's a good sign that their product is sought after. McDonald's brings in the most revenue out of any fast food chain in the world by far, with the 2016 annual report stating that it brought in over $24 billion worth of sales. Not too shabby. But if you look at their revenue over the past couple of years, you can see that it has been decreasing, which I got to say I'm not that impressed with, obviously. It is plain as a blank canvas to see that this stock is by no means a growth stock. If we look at the business life cycle, I'd say it'd be in the maturity decline stage. As you have probably noticed, McDonald's has employed a bunch of strategies to rebirth the stock, so to speak, or to at least keep the company at current levels. But just because it's not a growth stock does not mean we shouldn't be investing in it. A lot of the time maturing stocks are overlooked and therefore undervalued, which can mean a good stock pick. We must do some research on some significant measures. Gross revenue is important, but what percentage of that revenue is McDonald's actually keeping for their own pockets instead of spending it on expenses? Yep, not a whole lot. Not the best of ratios, but still better than Tesla, who are bringing in good revenue but generating negative profits. Earnings or profits per share of McDonald's work out to be $6.91. But this does not mean absolutely anything until we compare it to how much we are paying for the stock. You could be generating $100 per share for paying $1 million for it, and that doesn't take a genius to work out the return is minimal. A share McD's is currently $172. This gives us the PE ratio of 24.91. Now if we divide this by the earnings, we get a 4% return. Dividing the earnings by the price can be a good rule of thumb for what we might expect to get return-wise on the stock. 4% is not the greatest return even in today's saturated market. McDonald's is a stable and an understandable business, which our mate Warren Buffett would be happy with, but it's just generating too low profits compared to its price, which is why I will not be throwing my money at this stock. For those older investors who are looking for a safer stock to put your money in, perhaps you might consider buying McDonald's. Its forward dividend is $4.04, giving you a dividend return of 2.33%. But even then, there are better dividend stocks, I believe. Remember everyone that in these videos I am providing information on a stock, but also my opinions on different stocks. Make sure to do your own research and buy stocks that fit in with your investing style. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it gave you more insight into McDonald's stock. Remember to hit that like button if you want me to continue to make these types of videos, and if you want to learn more about different stocks and investing, then consider subscribing to Financial Fitness. Have a great day everyone, and bless you all.